welcome back to another video. Do I say that? I don't even remember what I say now because I've been doing these consecutively back to back, day to day recently because if you didn't know, I had coursework and then I had a week off and then I was like, let me just maximize my time and try and do this thing where I work 8 hours a day. So in accordance with last week, I mean for you last week, for me yesterday, I did yesterday manage to get the 8 hours done, and I think I yapped about that yesterday, so I'm not going to yap about it today. Today my cat had late night zoomies and he was zooming around so much I kept waking up in the middle of the night and then just like either like playing with him or like facilitating him to play somewhere else so that he does not disturb me, or just like if he was trying to like rummage through my bag or like whatever, so I was just like, okay, don't. And then, you know, but he wouldn't go to sleep, so I was just like, okay I guess. And then my alarm went off for 7 o'clock and I was like, okay, I have an alarm for 7:30, I'll just go back to bed. And so then I went back to bed, but I woke up at 9:30, so it's whatever. It is what it is. I forgot what I was talking about. Yay. Okay. I was gonna say something, I forgot now. Like, it was like, okay, yeah, basically throughout this week, I've realized a couple of things. Oh yeah, I remember what I realized. Basically, like yesterday or the day before, on Tuesday, I realized that, hey, maybe I should implement the sick day thing like I had in the summer for like these sort of like holiday periods when I'm working like this or whatever, or whenever I want to work like this. Yesterday, what I realized was that I think one thing that there's this bee, maybe fly, that's trying to come in through my window, but it doesn't understand that there's glass there and now it's distracting me. Anyways, basically I realized yesterday I think it's better if I make like a list of like what do you want? I don't know if my cat wants to go outside or just stay inside and just scratching the floor because she's like that. I just did a cat exchange with one of my cats. But anyways, yesterday what I realized was that it's so much more better for me to have, oh no, are you trying to escape? Do you want to go? He's probably gonna rip the carpet if he wants to go. Okay, anyways, basically I realized that it's I think one thing that was very like stress inducing throughout like Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday was the fact that usually I'll write like a bunch of things that I want to do and I'm not too fixated of getting them all done because I can just move them on to the next day. But with this system, I think because like I've set myself like some time and I've set like these that I want to get done specifically in that time, if I don't get it done, it feels like I've failed the tasks that I was supposed to do. That makes sense. It feels like, oh no, now I'm carrying today's work into tomorrow, even though I wouldn't have felt that way if I didn't implement this. He wants to go out. Wait one sec. All of them are crazy. They're all like sitting outside, just like waiting. And like I opened the door, they're not coming inside. They don't want to stay outside. I think they're just confused that the door's closed. But it's a bit loud outside, so I want there not to be noise. Anyways, I feel like also I'm being very analytical, but maybe that's because I just did my coursework or whatever, so I'm in that brain zone. But yeah, like optimizing and everything. Where was I going with this? Yeah, so I think it would be good if I wanted to implement something like this where like I'm working for 8 hours and like a specific like from 11 to 7 or so, or like trying around about that, like starting in the 11th hour and ending in the 7th, 8th, 19th hour or whatever. I think it would be best if I made just a list for like the tasks that I want to complete throughout the week. I either have to do something like this where I just have extra tasks so that like these are what I expect to do within the time frame, and then this is just like other stuff that can be like put on to tomorrow. But my main focus should be working within the 8 hours, not going overtime like I worked over here for like 11 hours in order to like finish the task, which I didn't even do. And besides, I was kind of sick, so like not really 11, like but like 10 still more than 8. I want to work within a concise amount of time because of the longevity of this whole webcomic, so it needs to be sustainable some way in terms of my human, you know what I mean? I need some structure is what I'm saying. Anyways, I think I'll just show you like the page that I did yesterday, and then I'll show you the word balloons, word bubbles, where I'm at. So still though, for like waking up at 9:30, I still managed to make it in time. I just lost like 2 hours of my day, but that's to like reading and that. Hello, work. I don't know if it's gonna work. Okay, just ask nicely and you will receive type of thing. Okay, this is like the last day that I'm going to film throughout this like week off that I got, and then I'll probably be back to like filming in between like my uni timetable and stuff, so I'll probably go back to normal from next week or whatever. But then like also the December holidays are coming up. It's also nice if I have footage left over, like if I have a backlog of footage to use, you know what I mean? It's just I'm min-maxing right now. Anyways, this is the template of the page that I'm going to be doing today. So this is the 35th page for chapter 3. I haven't done chapter 1 or 2 in case you were wondering, because chapter 1 and chapter 2 I'm just distracted by stuff I'm seeing outside. I'm just distracted by stuff I'm seeing outside. But yeah, basically I haven't done chapter 1 or chapter 2 because I wanted to get my mistakes out on chapter 3. This feels very rinse and repeat, like I'm just repeating everything that I said like yesterday and the day before. But I think that's just what happens when you record every day. Anyways, I'm really excited about coloring this part. I don't think I need to do much for the line art. What is that? I think I'm just gonna keep that, maybe. But actually, what is that line? Is that in the... Well, I would assume it would be, wouldn't it? Okay, I might just get rid of this one line there. I think that was just for me to see like how like Rookie's eyes would be looking up. Anyways, it's a bit more like, you know, getting a break and seeing the scenery and stuff and the setting sort of, and also just, this is so fun. It's so anime-esque and it gets so chaotic and I'm just happy about it. But it's also because like on Monday I spent the whole day not recording but just doing two. I was meant to do 3, but I did 2 templates. Anyways, this was one of them, but like completed now. So this is what I completed over Tuesday and Wednesday. We have Laura, she's just being a bit snooty and everything, and Jazz is like, yeah, sure. And then she smacks. I kind of really like this little glossy bit of detail. And then this, I was having a whole dilemma because again, it feels so rinse and repeat, but like this is a different video and like usually new people is what I found with my analytics. So if you're new here, hi. Basically I have this thing called splash art which I use in like description, like, okay, so Majestic Guardian as a whole is written as a novel, but it's like in webcomic form, illustrated wise. So in order to like, there's like certain sections where like Laura, who's our main narrator, this one over here, where she's describing the scene or whatever, like the specific location that they're in. So I've made splash art for these different locations and stuff, and basically I use that where like the description-y part happens. So you have something to look at and it's very like zooming in, zooming out of different sections of it, and it's a very big canvas that I draw on, and it's also more like illustrative style, so it's a lot more in depth, and like because it's a huge canvas as well, I can like zoom into like little minor details and stuff. So this background is part of one of the splash arts, but I like dulled it down so it didn't seem too in your face, like in comparison to the characters, because like I obviously want the characters to stand out a bit more than the background. So what I did was I kind of like, what is that drill sound outside? Anyways, sorry about that if you can hear it. I think it's gone now. Anyway, that's so funny, it just died again when I started talking. But anyways, basically what I did was I imported a part of the splash art and whatnot, but I dulled it down so that it didn't look too intense in comparison to the characters in front, because obviously my illustrative style is a lot more refined, more refined, rendered's the word that I'm looking for, compared to like the foreground characters or like my comic book-esque, my webcomic style. That was a task in trying to get the balance between the two without like also spoiling the splash art too much, which I think this is fine. This isn't like, it's not as deeply like detailed as the splash arts, and it's a good teaser for it. It's not like a spoiler for it, if that makes sense. If you want to see how that looks, I can't be asked to like open it up. So it's in the previous video, or if editing me wants to plop it here, I might, or I just might not. So I'm sorry about that. I'm so tired. I want this week to be over and done with. Anyways, actually fine. You know what? I'll show you so you don't have to go click on another video. The amount I care for you lot. Anyways, okay, so this is like, I realized instead of showing you like it directly, I can just show you like this. So this is partially part of the splash art and whatnot, and it's obviously it's not that zoomable right now because this is the imported version inside this canvas, which is a lot more smaller. The pixels are smaller and whatnot. And then I had this like duller version, so okay, that's a maximum. So like, do you see, I was trying to dim it down, but I think I ended up going like somewhere like this, somewhere in between, so it's not as intense in the final version. Help, it crashed. Anyways, yeah, that's kind of it. So this is what I'm going to work on today. I am hoping to get everything done. Currently, the line art as well, I don't think there's much rendering that I need to do. Also, like, so my process is like, usually I make a template, then I do the word bubbles. In the template, I have like the text written out from the novel, and then what I do is I make the speech bubbles, and then with the speech bubbles I put the text on it, then I move on to the line art. But because I've made such a detailed template, I basically can steal the line art from that and use it, which I am going to do. Like, there's not really much that I want to change here except for maybe that line in Rookie's face, or I could just like color it different, so I might not even change that. What I do is, because the line art's colored, so I do like manually like select areas and just like color it in different colors and like color pick and stuff, which I think also just makes my system so long. But also my system isn't consistent, so I feel like I could like slowly get out of it and drop it, but then like I don't necessarily want to drop it because I like how it looks, you know what I mean? Because I think at the beginning of this chapter, also my chapters are as long as volumes, so sorry about that, but at the beginning of this volume chapter, it's like I think I had the line art just be like standard like dark brownish for most areas, except for I think where her uniform was. I started making that blue because I didn't like necessarily the look of it or so. But now I've just started coloring everything, even these little like chibi-esque little blobs of like Laura and Jazz here, which are pretty fun. Yeah, so I'm gonna have fun with this. I haven't done much scenery so far as well, like location art like this, like perspective wise as well, so that's fun as well. Like at the start of chapter 3, they're basically just walking on the road, walking to Jazz's place, which is the pet shop. Then we get the description of the outside of the pet shop, which she doesn't really spend that much time outside of anyway. That's kind of the transition into this place. Then we kind of just have like one scene where we see Jazz and Laura, and it kind of pans throughout the scene. But this is kind of like a bit more better to understand the layout, specifically because the splash art / description-y portion hasn't come into fruition. I feel like I'm using words that I would use in a report. I did a report recently, so you know, this feels like thesaurus.com / in my brain. So I'm probably just gonna finish off the word balloons like text wise and stuff and clear up the line art, and then I'll check back in with you. I probably will do like a yappy drawy session. It kind of depends how long I want this video to be. I think also part of me, because of the back-to-back recordings as well, is getting tired of doing it. Maybe like not like, again, I kind of want to structure it so I don't get burned out. Maybe I'm feeling a bit thingy towards it, but I've only been recording like, this is the 3rd day in a row, but maybe I'm just not used to it anymore because like I've been recording like every week and then doing like editing it and then posting it because I didn't have a backlog of content. Who knows? Anyways, basically gonna finish the word bubbles, gonna finish the line art, probably gonna check back in with you and like start the start the coloring process, and then probably just dip somewhere halfway in between and then come back and be like, here's the finish art. But maybe that might be the method to the madness that is this thing. By the way, like if you wanted to know like when it's coming out like November 2026. Hopefully, if I can. Like, I'm at such a slow rate, I don't know if I can make it. But that's the due date. My cat is trying to scratch its way inside my room now, I realize. Anyways, so I'm gonna dip. I'm gonna do those things. So I'll see you in like 2 minutes. Bye. 2 seconds. If I sound dead as well, ignore me. I think I'm sick. Boo! So I'm back. It is, I actually don't know the time. Give me a sec. Okay, it's 3:40. I think I finished the line art and the word balloons like maybe around 3 o'clock or so, but I was basically watching a Slay the Princess let's play. I'm very late to that game, but it's Slay the Princess. When you start, you end up being too deep, and I still haven't finished the let's play that I'm watching. I'm watching the GT Live let's play, like the new one. Anyways, if you wanted to know, but it's going good, but I just had to like switch it off because I was like, no, I have to do this, even though I really want to finish it off. I think I have an hour left or something, but it's fine. I just like found a good interval to stop out. I don't want to undo stuff, sorry. Anyways, so this is how it's looking. I spent way too long on this part. You can kind of see it more obviously. No, actually, you can see it obviously in real life as well. That part being blue and that part being spaced out. I don't know how I want to go about this because I want it to, I don't know if you could hear my cat. He just got up and then he huffed and then he went back to sleep. But oh my god, I just looked up on my phone as well because I'm recording this on my phone, and then I thought I got a notification, but it's just because of the way this looked and how fast I was looking at my phone. Anyways, that's all to say that I wanted this particular phrase to be sort of different, but to kind of give like off like school sort of like homework vibes, like, oh okay, you can copy my homework, but like it's just like change it in it, don't make it too obvious. So what I usually do is when like Laura's in a shouty mode, which let me see if I can find a version of what I'm talking about. For instance, this is page 13, which wow, feels like I can't believe this is 13, but then it also makes sense because at the start of the summer this is the page that I was on. I cannot really load it because oh no, it loaded, lol. Okay, anyways, if you can kind of see, that's like a bit more blue, and usually when Laura's like shouting or like she's exclaiming something, I usually do it like handwritten, but I also use this blue sort of color on top because for me it's quite like reminiscent of like those handwriting pens, also like, you know, the red cap things that you use for like cursive and stuff. So it kind of just gives that like school-esque feel, or like if Laura's the one who's like drawing out or who's like presenting the webcomic to you, then it's very much like she is like trying to get her frustration out, and probably with supplies that she has or whatever. I think too deeply, maybe sue me, please. Anyways, but so essentially to get that same vibe across, I used the same sort of bluey color, but I was also kind of like, hey, should I change the text font? Like I spent ages kind of looking through text fonts. Like there was like, I think there's one called Noteworthy, or like there was one that was like a bit more charcoaly, or like a bit more like a felt tip, but I was like, they're not kind of giving the vibe that I want to give, so I just put it a bit more like like I weirded out the kerning and stuff. So I don't know, I think I'm okay with that. I think it's not, the thing as well is that I didn't want to go very like handwritten, like kind of scratchy looking, because I've already got that part here. So yeah, I think it's fine. I think I think too deeply and I shouldn't. What I think is gonna happen now is, also I did the sort of like coloring for the line art. The sun is also setting, so if it gets dark then I don't know what I'm gonna do. But yeah, there's this little bouncy heart, there's a little jazz, there's things. I think this page is going to be a lot more painterly in terms of coloring in than previously. Like previously what I do with my pages, so for instance the page before this page, I will color pick the skin, I would put the skin down, then I will like color pick Jazz's skin on that same layer, do her skin, then choose both of their respective blushy colors, and then use like their lip colors or whatever, move on to another layer, do their eye colors, and then move on to another layer, do their hair and the rendering for their hair, and then move on to another layer, do their like uniform, and then wherever I need more layers and I don't have more layers, I just merge down. So that's sort of the method that goes on with this. And then on top of the line art I do like embellishments and stuff. So like for instance the sort of like dot textures, I don't know why I do these so deeply, because like they're gonna get like, you can't even see it from this distance practically, but you can see it up close. But it makes me happy and I spent way too much time on these. But anyways, so those embellishments I usually do on top of the line art. What I will do right now is probably do those embellishments on top, but do all the like hair, skin and everything on one layer, particularly because there isn't very much variation, as in like I think these three are quite rougher panels, so I can get away like the way my finger just looks extra long like a witch. Hee haha. I think I can get away with like a different style just because these three panels look very different, and I think I can get away with this looking a bit different as well. The backgrounds as well, I do want to paint them so that they're painterly or whatever. Again, I'm like, do I want to do this with you, or do I just want to like watch Slay the Princess, you know? You know, I made choices. I kind of do want to watch Slay the Princess as I'm doing this, but then this is also like a good, I guess, detox, because like for the last 2-3 days that's what I have been doing. I've been watching stuff and drawing at the same time. But this way it's like engaging like a different part of my brain, I guess, question mark. That's what I decided to do for Laura. Like I used that one. I think what I did was I enlarged it. It's still a bit fuzzy and stuff, which is kind of how I want it to be, because I don't want it to be like too in your face, too like, oh yeah, this is Laura's mom or whatever. There's still like a sense of mystery around it. I kind of like blued it out a bit so it's a bit more in shadow. I think there's gonna be like either something a bit more yellowish or like, I don't know if I want something a bit more bluish also. Sorry, I hit the mic. Whoops. Don't sue me again. Please don't. I'm a bit like, why did I remove the reference that I had? Because I had the splash art as a reference so that I could color pick and stuff. But now I can't unless I want to pick from here. Which do I want to pick from here? It might be simpler if I do that. If I do that. I can do that. So I might just do that for this. But I think the way that I want to do this is like one of the things that I've done previously where, so like if I'm going to undo that so I can know where to end off and stuff. What's this layer? Do I delete it? Do I restart it? I think that is where I'm going to be like artsying. But I'm a bit scared of that layer, to be fair. No, that meant something, didn't it? Did I gaslight myself into thinking that something over there changed? I can't see anything on this layer. I think it's a clear layer, so I'm just gonna... Maybe I just clear it. Maybe I just take the leap of faith. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is with this bright, obscenely bright green color, I'm going to map out all of the areas that I need color, and I'm just gonna get rid of the word balloons so that I can see, or maybe I wanna like lower the opacity so that I can just see and sort of freehand it. But I'm like, do I want to freehand it? Because like I kind of want the textures to match up, not with that, but like with where's it gone? This one, or maybe this one would do better. So you can't even see most of my thing. Yeah, the sun is kind of dying, so I might just go on until like the sun dies, because I kind of don't like it when I put on my light, because my light is way too bright and everything, and it's just a bit silly looking. As in, there's always like a glaring dot like right around here from the sky light in my ceiling. But yeah, I decided like I should probably at least be like recording something that's like a bit more me-yappy than checking in again and again, because of the fact that what do you call it? What am I saying again? Like I should do that because today's going to be the last day that I record in this like experiment of days. And it's also going to be, yeah, so it's going to be the last day I record, so I should like give my thoughts and final verdicts about this experiment that's been going on for the last 3 videos for you lot and for me, I think. Can you not die on me, please? Yay, thanks. But yeah, I think also like a part of me, like the weirdness of this whole experience is that usually when I record, or like what has become my norm now, is that I record and then like I would record on a Tuesday or whatever depending on my schedule, and then I would like edit that video that week. So if I edit the video that week, then I still like remember what I did, and I like, you know, like it's not all in my brain about what I need to do and what I did and whatnot. But this way it's a lot harder of like what did I do? Like I don't have it all in my head. Like I kind of forgot what I've recorded so far, so managing that as well kind of feels like I'm back in the summertime doing the same thing. But no, what I meant to say was that like because I record and then edit, and now I've just been doing back-to-back recordings, it feels weird to me. Like I kind of want to edit right now, like because I guess like part of me is just like I forgot how my videos seem, or like how my videos are, because all I've been doing is like the recording part for the last 2-3 days. But it's fine, it's okay. But yeah, I thought I would manage to get like 3 pages done this week, but I only managed to get 2. Well, this is the 2nd page, so hopefully I managed to get 2 done. But it's a case of like, even if I don't, it's alright. Like it's not the end of the world. This was more of like an experiment, if anything. So, and I think that part of it has gone a lot more like successfully, as in I know now what I want from this, and I know what works for me and what also isn't working for me. So like I kind of said this before as well, like it's more so the fact that like if I want to structure it such that I want to only work 8 hours, then I can't pressurize myself to get certain amount of tasks done in those 8 hours. I think it's more so a task or like I either like from the beginning of the week write down what I want to get done that week and then divvy it up accordingly, but also like not give myself way too high expectations with what I can achieve. Like, yeah, basically that's what I've learned from this experiment. Anyways, I really also like drawing like these drawings. Like, these are so fun. I'm so happy with how they came out. This was another thing as well, because I did like spend just Monday doing the templates, and I think that also gave me like a bit of a sort of like a way to get these templates done without being without rushing them, because like for example the template before this, so the page before this one, I kind of rushed because it was like during coursework time for me and stuff. So there's that. Compared to this, I think you can tell that there's like more of an improvement, as in we've got different types of paneling. We have like sort of these environmental shots, whereas this was very like static and kind of similar to how stuff was at the beginning of this like series of, but now we've got like some very, very close and more expressive shots of like their eyes and everything, and just a bit more like storytelling and that. I don't mind being messy with this, because it is kind of just like it's meant to be like, oh, like the girlies are fighting, you know. This is quite a bright color in real life, but I think that also is because it's quite dull. Now the question is, do I want to color Jazz in like that? Like, do I want to go my standard way for colouring in Jazz, or do I want to go, I guess I'm going this way, I guess I've already committed. Does that silhouette make sense? I think so. Would her human be there? Part of her human? I think we can avoid it. As in, like, her shoulder can just be behind, because this is like a weird Chibi-esque pose where you can't really see much. Yeah. Okay, and now Laura's. Laura's is a bit weird, because I assume that's hair, and that's not her hair. Like, maybe that's, or it could just be like a darker shadow of her hair or whatever, because I don't know, it could be the background, but I don't really think these things through. I don't think things through often, but it's whatever. Yeah, anyways, this has also been kind of tiring. Like, this week is my analysis, but that might just be because I didn't realize that I was mildly sick, and I was, and then I was like, again, putting too much on my plate. Impossible tasking. But it is like good, because now I know what I want to do, sort of more so with like the December holidays that will like come relatively soon and stuff. So, but also I think it's good that I like recorded the way that I did. Oh, sorry, I hit the mic again. But I think it's good that I recorded the way that I did, because I have like basically the previous two videos, I think they're relatively short. They're still a bit yappy, they're still a bit like analytical, but I don't think necessarily, like, it kind of gave me a break from like drawing and yapping, you know what I mean? So there is some like variation, I guess, if you want to call it that. Anyways, I think I'm just going to try doing this like mini Jazz first, and then potentially the rest of it I'm going to do in my own time, because the sun is dying, if you can see the way that it dies. So I'll just go about doing this one to kind of show you what I mean. So I'm going to alpha lock this, and then I'm going to select this brush, which is the flat round brush, and then I'm just going to choose colors from Jazz's palette. So actually originally I want to do the skin. I don't know if I want to do it this way, because like usually what happens is if I choose like a green color or whatever, like what I would do is I'd use like a really like red color or something as well to just add some contrast. Not that in here, like I would just add some contrast some way, or like that's better as well for her like skin tones as well. But like I'd kind of add like different colors as well, and then I would softly sort of like add them on top, and then after I've done so, again, this is more like towards my illustrative style than like my thingy style, but again, at the end of the day, I'm trying to make this quicker as well, the coloring in quicker, and sometimes this feels quicker, sometimes it doesn't, but we'll see. So I might want to settle that down a bit. Okay, and now I'm going to move on to her hair. So for example, that's sort of the main blue that she's got going on. So I will sort of just, adding that in places. No, I don't want to add it like that. I might just do it smaller and section by section, maybe. And then maybe if I want, just add a bit more. I kind of do like how this looks, but again, I think maybe I'm trying to fall into like the line of like keeping things consistent, and this isn't keeping things consistent. But I do like the sort of like softer look, the more muted look, or like even the sort of vibrancy that it gives, or like color variation that this gives. So I think I do want like a bit of like her ear or something, maybe in a outline a bit of her ear. Oh, but if I'm doing her ear, then that means I need to add her cat earrings. So there's one over here, and then there's one over here, and then the one over there is black, and then the one over here is white. That is the sun dying, if you can see that. Maybe it needs to be a bit more muted. Okay, and then to be honest, I don't know if I want to add like the little kind of like little, like I don't think there's like much room to add that, like the little eye like hee-hee-haws. Well, I guess I tried to add them and don't know how successful I was with it. Again, this is like a chibi drawing, I shouldn't really care too much, but I do, unfortunately. Anyways, so moving on to finishing off her hair. I kind of want to put the brightness up, but I don't know what that will do to you. I don't know what that means to you. Oh my gosh, jump scare. We are going to go back to this blue colour, which is sort of her main colour. Jump Scare by Laura again. And I think we're just going to add it back. Okay, now I'm going to move on to the sort of shadow colour. Just getting jump scared by Jazz every time. Getting so jump scared I can't even say her name anymore. Ideally, if I had more layers, I would do this across the layers as well, so that way it would be easier for like rubbing out stuff and stuff, but I don't really have that luxury right now, so it's just whatever. Okay. Guess that sound? It's my cat scratching his ear or something. I'm gonna just add a bit of variation, you know, in what's going on, in what's available, texture and stuff. I think this is quicker, but like sometimes it doesn't feel quicker, but I think that's when I get like a bit like pedantic about like color selection, or like a bit like, no, but I want her hair to be the color that her hair sort of always is, that type of vibe. Okay, so now picking that and going here, I might just even use this brush and not change. I mean, that's the thing, I'm very inconsistent with this, but it's kind of like, I want to say a known thing that like, you know, my style will be inconsistent when dealing with this. Yeah, consistency isn't really an expected trait here with this thingy. I haven't really finished off her face, so I might do that, like as in this is the blush color. Jump scare again, maybe. Or maybe I will use or maybe the best thing is just to make her line art that color. So if I'm gonna merge the line arts, wish me luck. Okay, if I alpha lock them, but then they look a bit dull. But again, color consistency isn't really a thing here, so we don't really care if they look a bit dull, because we can just change up the colors, because colors aren't constant in this world, in my world apparently, in this world of my drawings. Select the thing, do the thing, do the But it also doesn't matter if it's just like one frame, you know what I mean? Maybe like this. Okay, yeah, I don't know if like, okay, her skin tones, like I don't know if it's too bright that it doesn't make sense, you know what I mean? But then I kind of do want the greeniness to show through. No, I think it is normal. I think I just don't know color theory. Oh my god, it's so dark for you. Should I honor light or end it? I think I'm gonna end it. It's been nice knowing you. Sorry, gotta go slay a princess or something. Okay, wait, I'll finish this one off with you. Even though the sun is dying and I don't really recommend this, I want it to be a bit more lighter. You can't really see anything. The teeth as well are gonna be like this color. Also, maybe I should steal from here, because that would make sense. Okay, now I'm going to just pick this color and add that there. Okay, I need to lock this so that I can just add it in places that it needs to be added. Actually, I don't want it there. I think I just want a bit here. Alpha lock it again and then just maybe blend it a bit, maybe upwards. Nope, is it still alpha locked? No, okay. Alpha lock that. Select this blue again and then do that doesn't make sense. I think it's fine actually. I don't think it needs anything more or less. I think I'm just gonna do her scrunchies now, maybe. So her scrunchies, again, this sort of purpley color. I don't mind making them a bit brighter. Kind of just depends. Okay, maybe a bit more purpley. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm done with that. Gonna just hold it here. It kind of makes more sense to me. But I also don't want this to feel... Okay, that kind of makes sense to me. I'm gonna leave that there. What I might do a bit for the skin, actually, pre-leaving you, is I might grab this and I might grab this brush and finish off sort of small details like her ears or something. I don't know how I want to go about her ears. Well, let's do her face first. So like that maybe. So maybe that. Maybe that. Maybe that. Maybe I should just stop. Maybe this. That doesn't look like any ear either to me though. I think maybe this. But like also like what the heck is that? Okay, I'm just gonna go like this. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully to someone somewhere, some point in time. If you're asking about lighting, I don't know how the lighting makes sense. But it is clearly dark and you can clearly not see that well. So I'm going to dip now and on the light and complete this. That was the sound of my heel scraping. I have work heels. Basically the heels that I just don't take anywhere else. I don't wear them anywhere else. I just wear them when I'm working. I'm not even joking about this. But do I want to take my heels off to show you? No. But it was the sound of my heel, like the sort of like, I don't know, it's a bit like plasticky, rubbery, I guess. I don't know. But it was the sound of that and the metal of my swivel chair right now, in case you wanted to know. But yeah, I'll stop it here. I'll come back after everything's done. Potentially, maybe I'll record that on Friday. Or maybe I'll just record that next week and give myself tomorrow off. Because tomorrow anyways is just about editing for me. I don't think as well I'm going to, like, not bind myself, but like, I don't think I'm going to like make sure that I do it between the hours of 11 and 7. I think I'm just going to let myself edit whenever or however I want. Like technically being like the start of my weekend for me. Anyways, yeah, so I'm gonna finish this off and then eventually one day I'll come back and I'll be like, hey, I finished it off, and then that will be the end of this video. So yeah, see you in maybe a couple of days for me. Maybe on the weekend I'll do that. Who knows? But I'll get this done now and hopefully I'll be done before 7. The sun is dying. Woo. That was kind of dramatic for no reason. I'm sorry. Goodbye. Guys, help. I took a video instead of like starting to record because I'm so good at this and it's Wednesday again. So it's been like a week or so. That was my cat jumping. At the same time, I was moving the mic. So, and the mic hit something, I think. This wire is very ugly and prominent. It's fine. It's fine. It's a Wednesday. Next week, I think. I mean, ooh, you did not see that. You did not see anything. Everything is crystal clear. Everything's crystals. Everything's crystal clear. You know what? I was thinking, you know what? Okay, let me be so for real with you. When did I last record? Was it here? I think so. Yeah, so it's been like a week or so about. But I've basically forgotten everything. I've forgotten my whole purpose in life. No, I haven't. I actually really liked how like the page came out. Page 35, which is what I'm going to show you right now. But I was like, let me be so for real with you. Here's my cat. Maybe. Oh, you have not been blessed. Oh, he's like here. He's here, but he doesn't want to be here, you know. He decided you're not worth it. So sorry about that. I do not bestow those sort of rights. I can't really force my cat either. Oh, I made an epiphany, a very stupid small epiphany. Oh, why are you looking? Like stop. That was spoilers. Anyways, basically what I was saying is I've made an epiphany with perspective. Like it was this very simple thing that like probably clicks in everybody's heads except for mine, but I realized something, but I'm probably going to discuss it like in the next video or whatever, because anyways this is too long and I can't be asked to edit something that's this humongosaurus, but I am gonna anyways. But basically the epiphany that I made is that you can have a character be in a dynamic pose and your character does not have to follow the rules of like okay, sorry, I like nearly dropped my iPad again. It's not funny. It's really not. Sorry, I don't know what like mood this is. But I'm just gonna okay, fine. Sorry. Maybe I should position you better. You know what? My iPad is really like, it's taken a hit recently. I don't know if you can see that. Can you stop? No, stop, please. No, that's the carpet. My cat was running the carpet. I don't know where he was. I think he wants to open this drawer. And he can't really, he's so active right now. I think it's because I came home earlier than he would have expected usually, because I had like uni today. Wow. Anyways, can you see the damage I've already, like, that's the extra damage that has happened because I dropped my iPad whilst it was on the treadmill. I feel like a mom right now. Like my kid is just over there. Like he's just being so hyper right now, and he's trying to play with his toy right now, right next to me. I just came back and I took the bus and it was so cold and I had to walk it. Anyways, basically, I don't know how much of my rant you heard, but that's a new crack. I do not know how I feel about it. It is basically on the ASMR moment for you. I don't know if I should be doing this, but I probably shouldn't be doing that. Oh yeah, I shouldn't be doing that. Okay, it's fine. You can't really see anything. Anyways, basically, yeah, I don't know how much of my rant you heard, but also the cracks on the screen, I think they're not on the screen, luckily. They're on this sort of paper-like protector that I have, which makes it easier for drawing and stuff. Highly recommend it if you want one and you're into digital art and that. Anyways, so yeah, I kind of gave this, I've forgotten if you've seen this or not. That was my cat playing with a ball. If you hear it, he's got that toy that the ball goes around and round when you hit it, and he's very good at it. He does not have the most amount of brains, but his brains do work when he wants them to work. But also at the same time, it's like, he's really good. He's got a lot of brawn as well. He's built like a tank. He's a tank. Anyways, a little neurodiverse tank, you know, if you want. Anyways. Basically, man, I'm so tired. I don't want to do this. Okay, sorry. But I've forgotten how much of this you've seen. I don't think you've seen the ending or the reveal. I don't even know if the mic's in the right position. I hope you can hear me. But anyways, basically, it kind of gives low-key post-it note vibes. Do you not think so? Maybe I just need to get in the zone. Maybe I just need to wear this scarf. Like, look at it. It kind of vaguely, yeah, see the little like witch-esque fingers, like Roald Dahl's The Witch, you know? Anyways, yeah, so I do like how that turned out. I think I talked about that. It's kind of giving post-it note, like doodle on a post-it note, I stuck it in here type of thing, but like I cropped it out weird and I glued that part, but I didn't glue that part, that's why it's lifted on the page. Anyways, another nice little background-y panel, another background-y nice shot, and then we have the eyes. Actually, I don't even know if you can see properly. Oh, the brightness is fully up. Maybe I should close the curtains because it's kind of bright right now. That's kind of better, actually. Maybe I should move everything out of the way. Okay, I'm sorry guys, bear with me. This is my first time ever doing this ever in my actual ever life, you know what I mean, for real life sees. Anyways, I was lying, but we're gonna pretend that I didn't lie, and this is my first time ever showing you my art. I can't even say no to him. Like, also at the same time, it's because like I can't say no to him because like obviously he's my cat and whatnot. Like, I can't even tell him no, please stop playing with your toy, because he's deaf as well, so like he's not gonna listen. So rip. I'm in a mood right now, unfortunately. Also, I just really like how this came out. I just like the red, the glare, look at that, like the little glowiness about it, the little like sparky reddy bits that don't make sense all around. It's just such a fun piece, you know what I mean? Also, like, because of the chaotic nature as well, I kind of like, some parts have like this like doubling of the sort of like whatever that is, the decimally bits and stuff, and I really like this. I liked it a lot. Yeah. So that's the end of this video, most likely. Anyways, the epiphany that I was talking about was the fact that I realized that basically to do a background, usually the problem that I have from like 1 to 3 1 to 3 perspective, because by 4 and 5 like lines are warping and stuff. I'll speak more about it in the next video, but from 1 to 3 you can have your character be in a dynamic pose, so long as like if they're floating, you're good. Like, it doesn't really matter, nothing really matters at that point. But so long as they're like touching one of the planes, you're good. You know what I mean? Kind of, maybe. Anyways, I'm gonna speak more about them in the next video probably, and show sort of the examples that I did. I don't know. That was my cat. But it's a very like, I think, common thing, but it's just something that I've never fully grasped. Anyways, I'm gonna leave that for the next video, so see ya, bye. Bye. I've added 10 more minutes of footage for me to edit. Great. Okay, bye. See ya.